Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something really fundamental. So fundamental, actually, we hardly ever stop to think about it. Our daily routines.
Mm-hmm.
But what if these patterns, these, everyday moments, actually hold a key to mastering something like, say, English fluency?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're exploring today. That's the mission.
Right.
We've been digging into this English language learning resource, and it's really focused on realistic conversations, just everyday talk.
Okay.
And it's quite striking how powerful that simple dialogue can be.
Yeah.
Especially for learners trying to get from just understanding English to actually, speaking it well, fluently.
That's a really important difference, isn't it? Understanding versus speaking.
Definitely.
And this resource, it goes a bit further, too. I think you mentioned it emphasizes, clear, slow speech.
It does, yeah. And it really pushes for active participation. Things like shadowing.
Shadowing, right. I've heard of that. Can you quickly explain?
Sure. It's essentially just mimicking what you hear, repeating words, phrases, almost right after you hear them, as closely as you can.
Ah, okay. So it trains your mouth, sort of.
Exactly. Your mouth, your ear, even helps with the rhythm and sounds of natural English. So yeah, if language learning feels a bit daunting.
Which it often does.
Right. Then this deep dive could be a kind of shortcut. It helps you see how your normal day actually gives you loads of chances to practice naturally.
So not just what to say, but finding the opportunities to say it.
Precisely. We pulled out some really interesting nuggets here about communication, about habits, and, learning strategies that actually work.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's unpack how, your average day can become a language lab. Where do we start?
Well, let's start right at the beginning. Morning rituals.
Makes sense.
The resource we looked at kicks off with this chat where one speaker, Sophie, says she woke up really early, like 6 a.m.
Wow, okay. Early bird.
Yeah. And that immediately sets a relatable scene, right? It's a common thing to talk about, how you woke up. Learners can immediately connect.
And it shows differences straight away, doesn't it? I remember Sophie's routine was brush teeth, wash face, then tea.
Hot tea, yeah, to feel fresh. But the other speaker, totally different. Checks the phone first thing.
Ah, the phone check. Very common.
Isn't it just? Then a shower and strong coffee, not tea.
So how does the source use that difference? It seems pretty mundane.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of it. This small difference points to something universal. We all have different routines.
Right. Obvious when you say it.
But think about it conversationally. The source shows this isn't just a fact, it's a gateway. It lets you connect on a personal level, talking about habits without any awkwardness.
Ah, I see. So it moves past the basic how are you pretty quickly.
Exactly. That how are you becomes a real prompt, an invitation to share something about your day using practical words. It built a bridge using shared human experience.
Okay, that makes sense. So after waking up, what's next? Usually food, right?
Fueling up.
Yeah.
Yep. Breakfast is the next stop in the daily journey, and the source flows right into it.
And what were they having? I remember Sophie had toast and eggs.
Toast and eggs, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty standard. And the other speaker? Pancakes with honey and banana.
Sounds good. But again, why is this detail helpful for someone learning English?
Yeah, good question. The material really emphasizes that this kind of small talk is more than just being polite. It builds confidence.
How so?
It describes it as casual, easy, and common in everyday life.
Yeah.
That means it's low pressure. You can practice without worrying so much about making big mistakes.
Okay. Less intimidating.
Right. You get to try a vocabulary like food words, connect with someone else, and just absorb simple sentence structures, all by talking about, what you ate. A simple, what did you have for breakfast? Can kickstart a whole little conversation.
Gotcha. And then after breakfast, for many people, it's the commute.
The daily trek. Yep, the resource gets into that next. Talking about getting to work.
So Sophie, how does she travel?
She takes the bus, 8:30 a.m., and she calls it crowded but fast.
Crowded but fast, okay.
And the other person?
Drives. Takes about 20 minutes, but acknowledges the traffic.
Ah, yes, traffic. The great equalizer. It's almost funny, that universal groan about traffic.
It really is, isn't it? And the source points out this section gives you really useful words for transportation, time, and daily travel, practical stuff.
And it taps into that shared experience again.
Exactly. The fact that traffic is a problem in every city, that shared frustration, becomes an easy conversation starter. It's finding common ground, even in the annoying bits of life, and realizing these everyday things are full of language you can actually use.
Right. Okay, so we've commuted. What about after work, the wind down period?
Yeah, this is where the source gives some really direct advice for learners, integrating it into the routine.
Oh, interesting. How?
So the conversation shifts to evening activities. Sophie's routine is quite varied. Walking, reading, cooking something easy. Pasta, maybe.
Pasta, yeah. Sounds familiar. Or relaxing with music. But she also sometimes uses this time to practice English.
Ah, okay. Building it in. And the other speaker...
Their routine is more like cooking dinner, watching TV, maybe just sitting quietly.
So a contrast again, but Sophie practicing English, that seems key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is where the resource really lands its message. English learning can be part of your everyday life. It's a powerful idea.
Yeah, breaking down that I need a separate study block mentality.
Precisely. It stresses you don't need to study for hours. Even just say 15 minutes a day, it helps a lot. It's all about how small steps make a big change.
I like that, making it manageable, part of the flow, not some huge extra task.
Exactly. It weaves learning right into life.
Okay, so the day is winding down. Brings us to bedtime, I suppose.
The final routine. Yep. The source mentions Sophie likes to sleep around 10 p.m., wants to wake up fresh.
Sensible.
And there's this agreement between them about needing a good night's sleep for a healthy life. Simple, relatable end to the day's cycle.
Okay. But how does talking about sleep connect back to the learning mission?
Well, it circles back to the whole philosophy of the source material, really.
Yeah.
It's the final point in the daily routine, but it leads into their final advice.
Which is?
They strongly encourage learners. Repeat these sentences. Practice them daily. And crucially, don't be shy. Don't worry if you make a mistake.
That's huge for learners, the fear of mistakes.
Isn't it? And they have this great line, the more you speak, the more confident you become. English is a language, not a test.
Oh, I like that. Not a test.
Yeah. It's okay to be slow, just keep going. And that shadowing technique we mentioned earlier, they highlight it again here because it helps learners think in English and speak without fear. It gets you past translating in your head, helps you internalize the actual flow.
So it really brings everything together, the daily routine examples, the practice techniques, the mindset.
Exactly.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening right now? This deep dive, it really shows the power of rooting language learning in just simple daily life, common experiences.
Yeah, like the source material shows, these normal, natural chats are absolutely full of words and phrases that you can use every day.
Yeah.
It's not abstract, it's practical.
Right.
So here's a thought to maybe chew on. If these really basic, universal parts of our day, waking up, eating, getting around, if they offer such a rich and easy foundation for learning and talking,
Yeah.
what other ordinary things in our lives, things we totally overlook, might also be untapped resources for insight or connection or even just practice?
That's a great question. Like maybe just paying closer attention to your own day?
Yeah.
That could be your best language lab.
Could be a continuous low-pressure way to practice, to express yourself,
The conversations are kind of already there, just waiting. You just need to tune in.
and then start talking. Even if it's slow at first, just keep going.